don't believe that you can do it, you probably won't. Respect that environment. It's doing when you don't want to. What can I learn from that? What did I do with that? You have to know why you're there.
Football teaches you about life, the ups and the downs, and it really prepares you for, later stages of your life, whether you become a pro and you make money off the game, or you take what you've learned and take it into everyday life. What are those 3 pillars that you try to implement within your, foundation, your organization, to teach, younger players?
Mm-hmm. The first one's belief. Because if you don't believe it, you more than likely won't do it. I think a lot of people, they all believe they can, but usually it's either a false belief or it just isn't true. Because, what we've learned through many years and I learned, if you don't believe that you can do it, you probably won't. And so that needs to start with that. How you create that belief, how you create confidence in that belief, that's a different story. That's how you work. That's what you got to work through to continue that belief system. But it's got to start with that. Number 2 is respect. If you're not respecting yourself, i.e., again, respecting yourself enough to know yourself enough to know if you're making the right decisions.
Exactly.
You have to respect the person across the line from you, your support systems, your parents, your coaches, the people that are outside of you. You have to respect them. And lastly, and I think almost most importantly, you have to respect the environment that you're in. As an American, I couldn't walk into the English locker rooms and pretend that I was this American dude coming in and doing my thing. I had to respect that environment. I had to sit on the bench and wait. I had to be patient. I had to be quiet. I had to be humble. Those are the types of things you go in when you respect the environment you're about to walk into, and that's a different field. That's a different job. Again, it's a different environment. It's a different town. All of those things present a different environment of how you should act, and I think respecting the environment is a huge part of that respect factor. And so it's belief, respect. The third one is work ethic. Work ethic is doing it every day. It's doing it when you don't want. It's doing it when you don't want to. It's when you wake up and you look outside and it's raining and your body's sore and you're like, I told myself I was going to go run 4 days a week this week, and I'm on day 3 and I only got 1 day left. Today's the day. I got to go do it. The work ethic gets you out of bed and get you out there and doing the work that's required. And it's not just saying working hard. That's the prerequisite to all of it. You got to work hard. You can't not work hard and make it in anything really. But the work ethic is doing it when you don't want to. It's doing it when you're looking outside and the chips are stacked against you. That ability to bust through that and get through that. That's what work ethic is. It's that. And so once you got to work, what happens in work is adversity. When you do stuff, I always say when you do shit happens. And in all honesty, that adversity piece, I think, again, almost is something that I come to expect instead of something that I was waiting to happen. That's another piece of the mindset of really, taking on adversities, because they're guaranteed to be there. You're going to get injured. Your friend might die. Your mom might get cancer. You might get dropped from the team and not get a new contract. Like, there's a bunch of ways you can create it that will happen in your life through adversity. And I think the last pillar, and this has to do in coalition with that, is positivity. Because when you have adversity, what gets you through that is that positive mindset, that silver lining look, and to say, what can I learn from that? What did I do with that? How can I take that and now turn it into a positive? And that's really the last pillar. And so, first you got to believe it, then you got to respect the environment and the people around you. Then you got to actually work for it and get out of bed every day and do the work. And the last thing within that work, you got to stay positive. And in the end, we hope that at the end of, applying those four pillars, that you can go on and try to find your success in life. And again, that's broad. It's not just about sports or soccer. It's about, the general ability to take on a dream and take on something that you think you can do, and most likely everybody else thinks you can't.
What's going on? Sorry to interrupt this video. I'm interrupting my quick bicep pump as well, but many of you reach out to me for help. You want a professional opportunity and you want to work with me one-on-one. I can do both. I can get you a professional opportunity. You can work with me one-on-one to get in the best shape of your life, and I could also help you earn some extra cash. What if you could do all three? Get into the best shape of your life, get a professional opportunity, and get a remote job where you can work from anywhere. If you want to do that, hit the link below, fill out the form, make sure you are ready to invest in yourself, and I'll see you there. And I look forward to a nice phone call, a free phone call with you. Make sure to go down the link below, fill out the form, tell me you can invest in your development, and we'll hop on a quick call. See you there.
I think the third pillar really, I think they all fuel each other, but I think that third pillar really has a lot to do with that first pillar, you know, having the ability to work hard and work smart to create that belief. And I think, you know, a lot of young players nowadays, I get a lot of messages from guys, you know, I trained so well in training, I feel so good, and then I get into the games and, you know, I just feel like, you know, my training has just gone to waste and I just feel like I'm not there. So, you know, from your standpoint, how do you create that belief in yourself, like as a younger player, if they're, you know, kids, you know, 7, 8, 9 years old who have the dream of becoming a pro, how do you create that belief within yourself?
Well, what I speak on a lot now is this whole piece on kind of, it's called self-leadership is kind of the title of what it means. It's kind of like, you know, the way that my story always resonates with people is that I actually just spoke at the big coaches conference, the United Soccer Coaches Conference down in Kansas City, and I got asked to come down there and speak based on the fact of this self-leadership piece, and that's, you know, how you take it upon your own story to lead yourself. You know, we're always looking to coaches, we're looking to our parents, our peer groups and things to help us lead and say, well, what should I do? And in a way, like if you can create self-leadership in your life, you need those people and those things for support. You don't need them to make your own decisions. Yes. And I think if you create self-leadership in yourself, you know, all those extra things are bonus land, and those are things that are there to support you. But technically, if you create a mindset that you can support yourself, then you give yourself the best opportunity to go and succeed. And so self-leadership is essentially a couple different things. It's the first thing is intention. You have to know why you're there. Do you want to make the team just to play varsity? Do you want to get a contract to play Division III? Do you want to play you know, NAIA? Do you want to get a university scholarship and go to school? Again, all different intentions, but first as you come into the game, and again, those intentions can always change too if you get to the level that you want, and then you can always change things. But the first way to enter the room is just with the intention of what you want to do and what you want to get out of it. And so once that's set, then you have to start to create awareness for yourself. And awareness for yourself is actually going into your mind. See, what do I like about this? What am I good at? What skills do I bring to the table? And really start to create the awareness piece of, yes, I know why I'm here, but now what am I entering the room with? What skills do I have? What am I bringing to this table? And again, it could be good things, bad things. I know that if I run too much in the first 15 minutes, I'm going to get really tired for the rest of the second half. If I know that about myself, because I've done that and I realize it about myself, maybe I won't come out with guns blazing for the first 15 minutes. But if I'm not aware that that's what's happening, then the rest of the 30 minutes of that half are going to be crappy for me. But if I'm now walking out in that game and I know that maybe my body gets tired right away, but then I find the fitness later, maybe I'll go out with a little bit more intention of, I'm going to ease into the game. So by 30th minutes, I'm hitting the ground running. And so that kind of awareness piece of the type of player you are and what you bring to the table is this next piece. From there, now you start to practice whatever it is that you're good at and bad at. So this is where you start to go into, you know, the confidence piece. Because if you have intention and then you have awareness, what that creates now is confidence, because you're starting to understand what you bring to the field. And so if I'm someone that you know, is good at my right foot and not very good at my left, I'm not going to use my left as much, but I'm going to train on my left when no one's around. I'm going to train on that thing when next time I come in, because I'm aware I'm not good at my left, I'm going to train on that. But then when I'm in the game, I'm going to use my right, because that's when I can use my skills and gain confidence as me as a player. So, you know, intention unlocks awareness unlocks confidence now unlocks belief. And so once you have confidence, now you're training in those moments and you're gaining confidence because you're now becoming the player you want to be. Now you have the belief. Now you have the last piece, which is the belief. And so now you believe, now you're back to step one. If I believe it, I can do it. And so it's kind of like this thing that really unlocks itself within the self-leadership piece. And then once you actually are this player that knows who they are, knows what they're good at, knows what they need to work on, and believes in themselves, Now you can go out to the rest of the world and be a good teammate. Now you can go out to the coach and say, yo, coach, like, what else do I need to do? Hey, player, hey, mom, what do you think about my performance? All of that stuff is relevant once you understand yourself enough to not let those other pieces really influence you as much, because you drive from self.
Absolutely. Even though mom always thinks you play well, you know.
Well, yeah, which helps build confidence.
For sure.
Homie, thanks so much for making it to the end of the video. I know I got a nice bicep pump going on. Don't forget what I said at the middle of the video. If you want to get a professional opportunity inside a professional team for at least 10 to 14 days, working with the team, seeing the culture, and getting into the best shape of your life with me, as well as making additional income, getting a remote job so you can work from anywhere. Once again, that's getting a professional opportunity, working with me one-on-one, and making extra cash so you can work from anywhere, no matter where you are in the world. If you want to do that and you want to work with me one-on-one, be mentored by me to make sure you succeed, fill out the link below. Make sure you tell us you're ready to invest, because you have to invest to reach your ultimate potential. Then I'll show you my schedule. We'll hop on a free 45-minute call and see if you're the right fit to work with us. Don't forget to go to the link below, fill that out, and I hope to see you there. And make sure you like this video and subscribe. Deuces.